Hi everyone, today I'm going to actually be doing a talk through tutorial on how I conceal my under eye area. I recently put up an updated foundation routine and highlight and concealer routine, but honestly between now and then I've actually added a few more products just to kind of change that up a little bit, because I've been looking back at my photos and despite my full face of makeup, I feel that my deep set eye crease here has become a little bit more prominent, and it's become a little bit of an annoyance to me, to be honest. So I thought, let me add a few more products and see if it's going to make a change, and it has. I've always had deep set eyes. My sister actually used to tease me and call me Uncle Festa, you know, the one from Adam's Family. So rude. But anyway, I hope you could find this tutorial very useful, and let's get started. Like with any routine, you need to be obviously prepping your skin for it. So I've got Bioderma, and after having a clean, fresh face with cleanser, it's really nice to I just put this on just to kind of freshen up my skin. So I'm just going to be doing this. It's kind of taking off any excess that is on my face. Maybe if you're doing this in the evening and, you know, you're just about to go out or something, and you can't really just go and wash your whole face, probably. That's what this Bioderma is really good for, that, just to kind of clean up your face and whatnot. So, always good to moisturize, and particularly under your eye area. And I said that in my last tutorial, which was my updated foundation routine. I like to moisturize my skin. This is the Body Shop foundation. Sorry, Body Shop foundation. Body Shop Daily Moisturizer, and it has an SPF of 30, and I concentrate that under my eye area a lot. I've done that for a while now. There was a makeup artist that I actually assisted some time back at an amazing shoot with Love magazine, and she actually taught me that. So yeah, I learned a thing or two from her. She said put it under your eye area, because when you put your concealer on and stuff, it doesn't have that kind of, you know, when it flakes and stuff, because you've put a lot of moisturizer here. So if you do that, you'll be good to go. Next, it's always good to prime. I've got tons of primers right now. However, I'm just going to be using Professional by Benefit. It's really lightweight and oil free, that's why I'm using it. I have heavier bases, which I just don't think is necessary. Ew, I just squirted it in, like some juice came out. It's been sitting there for a while. It hasn't even been a year. Oh, I'm scared. I think we're good. Was it meant to be that colour? Oh no. You're just applying the Professional onto your skin. I'm sure it's good. It hasn't been 12 months and I hardly use it, and it's in a tube. So we're hopefully okay. If I wake up with madness on my face tomorrow, you guys will know why. Okay, so cleanse, moisturize, and you put your base on. Do you know what? You'll probably either just go into doing your eye makeup, which I'm about to do now off camera, or we can go straight into the steps, which I'll show you in a moment. Okay guys, so my eyes have already been done. I've just done such a simple look. It's just like a brown smoky eye, gold tear duct, wing liner, and some lashes. And just to add to that, obviously I've done my brows as well. I've put some concealer on my eyelid because I have, like, my dark circles actually comes from the deep set area here on to the whole of my eyelid. I actually have a naturally dark eyelid, so sometimes when I do eye makeup looks, it actually looks as if my eyeshadow is harsh, when it's not. My eyeshadow is actually the deep set eye. So I figured out a way to conceal that, which I'll probably do in another video at another time. But this is focusing on just the under eye area. So I'm going to start with my Beauty Blender blush. Beauty Blender sponge. I start with my Beauty Blender sponge, and I've damped it slightly, and I'm going to be using Mary Kay Time Wise foundation, which I absolutely love. I'm going to be showing you guys my my foundation collection really soon. So I'm just going to pump a few of those pumps and just apply my eyeshadow all over the face. And that's what you want to do. You want to start by eyeshadow. Wow, what's wrong with my speech today? Start by adding your foundation everywhere. Sometimes people use their fingers, that's fine. Use a brush, that's fine. Stippling, foundation, buffing brush, whatever, just get the foundation on. Using a beauty blender, which is damp, is really good. I've only recently started to do this, but I find it's just a little bit more patience you need, because it takes so much longer than actually using like a buffer brush. Clearly I'm just like, okay, let me just get my buffer brush. Okay. And as you can see, there is still kind of imperfections under my eye area. That's where the concealer comes in. So the first concealer I actually use is just a kind of creamy liquid concealer, and this is Select Moisture Cover by MAC, and this is an NW45. My deep set lines are still pretty prominent, but so I'm going to just conceal that. And this step is really good for those who have dark circles as well as the deep set eyes. And I'm just going to conceal the area. If you feel that you need to use a color corrector as well, that would be really good, because it will just cancel out the discoloration, and then you can follow these forward steps. But I don't really have dark circles per se underneath. It's just kind of more at the top where I have the issue. This concealer's like just like a shade lighter than my own. It's NW45, whereas I'm in NW50, so just like a few shades lighter. Okay, so what it does is just brightens up the area just a tad bit, but that's not where I stop. I want a real highlight, and this is kind of more not necessarily your everyday makeup or concealer method. My everyday concealer method will probably be just this and a setting powder, and then I'll stop. But when I'm filming or when I want to be a bit more glammed up, then you do the highlighter and contour method that everybody's crazy about. I'm using Almond and Toast. Almond is the lighter one and Toast is the darker one. I mix these to get two together. So this is where this all starts, your highlight method. With a concealer brush, you want to be concealing the under eye area with this light coloured concealer or this brighter shade concealer. Obviously, as normal, we're doing the highlight and contour thing. So as I got the concealer, just gonna do my nose, my forehead, that normal T-zone highlight that everybody's doing. So for this method, I'm using two setting powders. The first is Topaz Translucent Powder. If you're lighter shades, banana, there's sienna, there's this, there's that, there's different shades, but the most popular ones is banana and topaz. This is the packaging. Everybody knows this lovely, lovely setting powder that everyone uses. And I'm using a dry sponge, not a wet sponge, a dry sponge to actually apply that. I don't want it to be damp because it just kind of it doesn't really give the impact of kind of filling in the areas where you want to fill when it's quite a wet sponge. So I'm using a dry sponge, and this is just a normal cheap cosmetic sponge. You can pick up a pack from eBay. And yes, it looks a lot, but that's what we want. I'm trying to diminish that line. I like this shape sponge because it's cut at the top, so you can really kind of get under the eye. Can you see it's actually gone already? The deep set line, which was previously there, you can see it a little bit here and then it's still there. So I'm just going to do the other side. And I'm just going to set as I would normally set my, whoops, such full help. That was not meant to happen. Now we're looking a hot mess, but we're gonna clean it up. Using a buffer brush or some sort of brush, take off the excess. Extremely important to do this. Take off the excess because you don't want to be taking a picture and whoop, it all just stands out and it's just a bit too much in your face. Now, I have cleaned it up with my brush, but can you see there's still that line of demarcation? I now go on with a another loose powder, and this loose powder is by Black Up. It's actually not as thick as the Topaz or the Luxe Real Translucent Powder by Ben Nye. And I'm going to be using a powder puff to apply this product. On my everyday sort of routine, I would just use this on top of my concealer and off I go. And that's kind of more of a subtle way of concealing my under eyes. But with all this glam, bam, I just like to add a second product. So I'm using a powder puff just to actually pick up the product. And again, I'm gonna set here. Now, this color is really close to my skin tone, surprisingly. It looks light, but when I brush it off, it looks so close to my skin tone that it works really well. So I'm gonna apply that, get another powder brush, and ever so gently just take off the excess makeup. Totally gone right. I ain't done yet though, guys, trust me. I ain't done. Now take a good look. Bit of this highlight here, and it's really light here. The next stage, and I think it's really, really important, is to finish your glam and obviously set your entire foundation together, is to go in with a powder, and this is a pressed powder in your skin shade. And what that's going to do is kind of blend it all together so it's seamless and you won't really notice the obvious highlight under your eyes and your T-zone. So I'm using Studio Fix's NW50, which is my shade, and a powder puff. And what I'm going to do then is just apply the product here. And just particularly in my head, can I show you that you can see the demarcation there? Let's just put that around it. And it kind of just blends in well with the highlight that you've put on. Right, I'm gonna work on my neck, guys, because it's really bugging me. So bring on the foundation, girl. It's really dark, obviously from the pregnancy. It's kind of really still there. I know the pregnancy's over now, but it's still really, really showing. It's really, really showing. Is it better, guys? I'm trying to cover it up. I'm not buying another foundation, which is darker. That's ridiculous. But it's better than nothing. Just to finish off the look, you probably would love me to add color to the cheeks, just so that you kind of have a little bit of life and it looks like you're breathing. So I'm just gonna add like a flush of color, something subtle for this look. Now, depending on how deep set your eyes are, you may not be able to totally get rid of the lines, but it does help, you know. Deep set eyes are something that is kind of like, that's how your skin has been engraved. So how do you kind of you know, battle that? But I've used 2 setting powders, so it's pretty much really helped, you know, diminish it. But just to finish off, I'm going to be using a blush, and this is just a simple blush Raisin by MAC, just to complete the look. And it kind of just ties the whole looking together, really. I don't see a full face without blush. It needs some sort of blush, especially when you put highlight on. You need to kind of bring back life to your face, otherwise you just kind of just looks a bit too you know, like you don't have any dimension. So just to add some more dimensions back, I'm just going to be adding a contour, which is Ben Nye's Ebony. Right, just here. So, how did I do? I hope this tutorial was useful for some. It's something that I've been practicing very recently, so it's quite new to me, but I feel that it might be useful for me to let you guys know. I'm going to list all the products that I used on my blog, as well as some pictures as well, so you can check it out before and afters and stuff like that. In the meantime, have a wonderful weekend or week or whenever you're going to see this video, and have a lovely day or evening or wherever you are. God bless you. I'll see you soon.